Wednesday, the 31st day of March. My name is Adu, and it's good to be here today to get you in the conversation. Nairametrics, in partnership with Lagos Talks, brings you the show Everyday Money Matters, Wednesdays from 7:30 to 8 a.m. And of course, it's your personal finance and literacy show. And welcome. Of course, today I'm not alone. I'm joined by the money team as well. And we will be helping you to make sense of all what's going on in the world of finance and personal literature. Of course, personal finance, that is. And I've got with me here Loretta and Olumide, both from the money team. Hi, guys. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Adu. Yeah, hope you're looking good. Yeah, good morning.
All right. I'm sure you all get up for Easter, right?
Yeah, we're preparing. Yeah, we're not planning to spend all our money on that. Yes, a lot of things ahead. Yeah.
Let us spend a little now. Olumide, why did you have to bust the bubble?
Yeah, I think this is not the time for spending. I think this is time for preparing ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, somebody just had a culture shock right now. Anyway, it's good to be here. Good to have you guys here. As always, there's a lot of questions that people have sent in as well. But just in case you want to ask questions as well, you can join the conversation and let us know what the question would be. Olumide, Loretta, and I'm sure later on Ugodre will be more than glad to help you answer those questions and help you to make sense of it all. And if you want to get your questions across, just go ahead and send us a message on our WhatsApp platform. It's 0809 234 5913 0809 234 5913. All right, let's get into the questions. This one is coming in from Iberi. She says, good morning. Please, I need assistance. Since January, I have 6 million naira. Please, can you suggest to me what I can invest into so as not to lose my capital?
Okay, good question, Iberi. But you see, investment don't really work. We need to make listeners understand that investment don't really work by just mentioning assets and just investing. And the essence of this program is just highlighting the things that you must have read and reaffirming such bias. Like over the years, Nairametrics has spent so much resources educating a lot of people on investment at a certain period. Now, 6 million naira looks like a pretty lot of money in Nigerian when you're looking at Nigerian earnings current. But when you now factor the dollar value and other macro investments, then it takes you to the fact that investment is kind of little, because that's roughly about $12,000. That won't even buy you half of Bitcoin. But you see, how bit it may, first thing everybody needs to understand is that to have key insight to investment opportunities, you must spend time at least reading financial reports. I usually tell readers that if you're spending 15 minutes daily on financial news will give you so much upside. Now, let me give you an example of what I'm saying to you. Now, if you are looking at the stock market, there's so much headwinds and opportunities really maintain gains now. Some stocks are over 100% in the last 8 weeks, and the upsides are still growing, and some stocks are calibrating towards that side too. So it tells you that all you just needed to have done is just monitoring, tracking this thing. And if you don't really have time to track, Nairametrics has a Twitter handle, Instagram, usually putting macro results and stuff like that. So this will have added insight. So mentioning an asset, for example, now let me give you an example. Mentioning, for example, that buy Bitcoin. You might buy Bitcoin at this price and you lose a lot of money, because Bitcoin is a good investment. In fact, it has given investment of about 833%. But the value you might be entering might be at a very deep cost for you, because it could suffer some buying and selling pressure, and you lose a lot of money. So the thing for Iberi is, first of all, if she doesn't have resources to get an investment advisor, or if she doesn't want to go to an investment bank, she can read top-notch financial sites. And you see, Nairametrics, the good thing about Nairametrics is that we don't charge a premium for reading our articles. Many leading financial news sites charge such premium. So to answer a very question, she just has to do a little research on the assets. And if she doesn't really want to do that, and she's adamant or really investing, then she can go for the safest bet, go to a fund manager at any investment bank that is regulated by the Security Exchange Commission. They will give you investment opportunities. ETFs are printing gains last year of as high as 22%, 15%, though it's not consistent, meaning that the performance of that ETF is based on on that mutual fund is based on the skill of the fund manager. And if she says, okay, she has some sophistication and she just wants to get reports, she can key in on her metrics and start trading on her own. So those are because there's no real to be honest with you, there is no real asset I can mention to you now and tell her that she should just buy. It should just be giving a child a gun to shoot a deer, the implication of that. So I think she needs to do a little bit homework, that's just the narrative.
All right, thank you, Olumide, for that. There's another question here. Says, what is the return on investment by PFAs as of January to date?
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Lauren,
Okay.
you want to answer that?
well, I don't know if you know the round figure, Olumide, but what I was going to say is that for January to March, I don't know the exact return, but you can get the information from PENCOM, Pension Commission. Although between the month of February and March, only about 22% of the PFA funds or PFAs are made positive returns. And this is not very surprising because over time, PFAs have had an habit of investing in risk-free assets like treasury bills and the rest. You can quote me. I was about to say, don't quote me. But yeah, they've had a habit of investing in risk-free assets. Given that those assets or those securities are not underperforming or have been underperforming since COVID-19 pandemic, it's expected that their returns have been doing poorer than you would have. But yeah, all of the data is available on Pension Commission. You can also just check Nairametrics and then you see all of the information pop up.
Yeah, just to add what Loretta said, yeah, it's not surprising that such the performance currently. Don't forget that the year is just starting, and many of these pension funds, they invest in assets that will not put them too much exposure on drawdown. So the reason is because they're investors funds and their portfolio is kind of more at consistent income. So for now, I think just about six, just like Rita said, looking at recent data just shows just about 6 of them are on the positive trend. But if you look at year to year, from 2017, 2018, 2019, I think the performance has always hovered between 12% to 18%. So I think relatively they performed incredibly better than the debt market. So I think for me, I think it's too early for the listener to start looking at such buyers.
All right, thank you very much for that, guys. And also, in case you're just joining us, you're welcome. This is Everyday Money Matters, brought to you in partnership with Nairametrics on Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. Just to remind you that you can relive the moment every single time we have this show. Just go to YouTube, youtube.com, and just look for Nairametrics there on YouTube, and you can see the show again. So you go to YouTube go to the Nairametrics page on YouTube, and you can watch the show again. And just in case you listen to Olumide start off talking about Nairametrics pointing you in a direction to help you make the wise investment choices, you can subscribe to a Stock Select newsletter, all right, where Ugodre would personally show you stocks that are favorable and are possible better choices that you should make as an investor. So you become a smarter investor, you discover market beating stock. You also would get to learn how to invest with confidence, so you're not dilly-dallying when you're making your investment. And also you get insight into factors that drive capital appreciation. All of these you'll get when you subscribe to the Stock Select newsletter. And so you'll get at least 2 stock recommendations that will come to you on a monthly basis. You'll get a monthly recommendation of what to buy, what to sell, what to hold, when to buy, when to sell, when to hold as well. You'll also get exclusive intelligence on the stock market, when analysts and experts are showing you that this is what is going on and the markets in general. And there'll be a succinctly written analysis of results from different companies and the actions they're taking as a corporate body. All of these will just feed into the Stock Select newsletter and will help you make a very informed decision. So, hey, check out ssn.nairametrics.com to subscribe. That's ssn.nairametrics.com to subscribe, and then I'm sure it'll be really handy and helpful. So guys, there's another question here. Let me take 2 ones that seem similar. So you might just want to answer them back to back. Please, why does gold go inversely with the US dollar? That's question number 1. Why does gold go inversely with the US dollar? And a rider to that is, hello, Olumide, I trade gold and I want to know what caused sell-offs in the market.
Yeah, very interesting question. First of all, there are so many macros that make gold move inversely with the US dollar. Gold, first of all, is a precious metal, and investors usually use it to hedge against inflation. So what I'm saying is that when they see inflation rising alongside fiat currencies, investors start pulling back in such assets. Gold is something that is tangible, something that you can hold. I'm talking of physical gold. So investors rather hold gold at that period than. But you see, in such relationship, there are so many factors that, but just because of time, I'm going to give you the 3 key drivers. First of all, the gold bullion asset is priced in the US dollar. So you understand the opportunity cost holding the asset. So usually when the dollar is strong, it's a downside for gold because it makes the holders of that asset more expensive to buy it in the dollar. So it's really that. Then the second major reason is that the United States, unlike Nigeria, where most of our foreign reserves are kept in the US dollar and other fiat currencies, the euro and stuff, Japanese yen and wherever. In the United States, the major treasury asset is gold. In fact, they had a kind of treaty as far back as 1930s that they keep a certain amount of assets in gold. And currently, the United States is the largest owner of that asset. So that's another key reason, because the United States economy happens to be the world's biggest economy. And like we said, they control one of the most powerful financial markets, the stock market, the bond market. So whatever happens in the United States usually reflects on gold because they move inversely. If the stock market is really, the United States stock market is doing relatively well, oftentimes the gold market does poorly. And gold usually thrives a lot in bad news. When inflation is high, when there are a lot of terrorist attacks or during political uncertainty, all these things push gold. So the reason why we're having sell-offs in gold is simple. Like I said, one of the key factors is the US asset, the US dollar. But there's another one that is really of late catching gold traders off guard, and that is the US Treasury yield. In the 10-year US Treasury yield is on record, and in fact, yesterday it clocked about 1.776. And the reason is because when you invest in treasury market, you get a return. You get a return on investment actually, and some people call it coupon, some people call it, but you get a return, and that return is given 1.7. It looks little, but for a country like China that has about $3 trillion in assets, that's a lot of money when you convert that to. So investors are really putting, a lot of institutional investors are putting funds away from pricey from bullion assets that you said, precious metal, gold, palladium, to this asset. Then the last one is Bitcoin. Bitcoin has taken the center stage now, and if you see record names of global financial brands are already printing their names from. We have the likes of PayPal, Tesla, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, BlackRock, putting their hold on this asset. So institutional investors naturally are seeing gold as a less attractive asset. Like I said earlier, Bitcoin has given gains of about 833% the last 1 year, Gold has just rallied about 6% in the last 1 year. So it's a no-brainer. Where would investors naturally want to put their money? So naturally, we are seeing gold prices falling around $1,680 per ounce, but still doesn't take the fact that gold will still be a safe haven currency for conservative investors, and the fact that it has industrial use. Gold is not just used for investment purposes; it also has industrial use. It's used in iPhones, it's used in the industrial sector. So that's really what's happening.
All right, Loretta, I think this question here will be something that you might want to chime into, because it looks like something you'll be able to help with. It says, I'm just starting my career, and the person is asking, what tips can I get to rise in my career, especially in a male-dominated field?
Okay.
Your initial reaction is gonna, yeah.
Well, I feel the first thing is to, I don't want to be misquoted on this, but I feel the first thing is to free yourself from the bias of being a victim, being a woman. So it means things are against you because, men are always in charge and men have all the biggest roles and things like that. Even though some of these things are indeed true, I would say that having your eye on the prize, knowing exactly what you want and going after it head on is pretty much all you need to succeed. You need a level of tenacity. You need to know exactly what you want, and you need to have the tools, the skills, and all of that. I believe that if you have all of the right skills, particularly where I can say this now because the world has changed significantly. So some of the things or some of the areas where women will have struggled to get a foot in the door before, now, thanks to globalization, education, people are now saying that that women can actually do a lot of these things. So all you have to do is prove yourself. So I would say for tips to start your career, equip yourself with all the assets and all the skills that you need to have, from educational to your resources, and go after your dreams. I don't think anybody will stop you if you are dogged enough. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Loretta, from the money woman herself. Well, I think that's an advice you can take to the bank. Olumide, this person is asking about cryptos now. It says, what cryptocurrencies can I buy now to make a 20% ROI?
I think the best crypto asset you can buy if you want to get a 1,000 ROI is knowledge. I won't mention any crypto assets here again because you see, like I said, Adu, the crypto market is attracting a lot of people because of the massive returns that is being posted. But you see, this thing didn't come overnight. It didn't happen overnight. You see, for many months now, metrics has been tracking this trend. And one of the key factors you need to understand is that how do you pick a crypto asset? It's the same narrative of getting such returns. So, for example, if you are conversant with our articles, we always focus on the liquidity of that asset. We tell you what is driving that asset. So the first 20 assets generally have given returns of no more than of at least 1,000%. So presently, if he wants to get quick returns, he needs to look at price action, buy at dips or buy at lows, where he can hope for gains. But presently now, the market is bullish. So I think my safest bet for him is to wait for ICO. ICOs are what we call initial coin offering, which is the same thing, almost the same thing as initial public offering, where a new coin comes listing, but it comes with risk. You might lose a lot of funds because we are not really sure whether that crypto asset is really going to be what they are. But if you really want to invest in assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, if that's really what looking at, well, the prices are over close to record highs already, and to me they look a bit pricey. So keep staying tuned to our articles, read day by day. We do analysis sometimes, but based on compliance reason, we don't want to mention any asset for now. So I think he needs to invest more knowledge. He'll get more than that, I assure you. If he does that in a month, I had to trust me, he will get about 50% ROI return. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have been given a lot of shakers this morning. This one is something I think Loretta would like to chime into here. Loretta, this person says, I need to increase my income. What steps can I take? That's question one. Question two is, I've heard a 9 to 5 doesn't make you a millionaire this past few weeks on social media. Is this any true? So Loretta, can you help with those two questions? I need to increase my income. What steps can I take? And the rider to it, I've heard a 9 to 5 does not make you a millionaire these past few weeks on social media. Is this any truth, or is there any truth to this?
Okay, so I would like to start from the second question. And this is something a lot of people have said over the years, having a 9 to 5 will make you rich and all of that. There is a level of truth to it. So first, let me say it is possible to become a millionaire by having a 9 to 5, because it just depends on where you are working or which currency you are collecting. I mean, if I'm working in Nigeria, I'm collecting my salary in pounds, very easy to become a millionaire, even based off salary. But I think the general idea is that there's always a cap to it, because you are selling time as opposed to buying time. So your 24 hours or whatever your working hours every week, you're selling it to a company for money. So there's only so much you can do, because it's only you, and then you are giving your time in exchange for money. The difference between a 9 to 5 and running your own business is that when you're running your own business, or you're a CEO, or you have your business to run, basically, you are buying time, meaning you're not restricted, or you're not constrained by your own time or your own skills or your own ability. Now you can get 50 people working under you, and those 50 people are also driving at the same objective you're driving at. And so chances are that you would make money faster. So I think that's a better way to see it. So can you become a millionaire from having a 9 to 5? Yes, but there are levels to it, because there's only so much you can do by yourself, However, if you keep pushing, so if you are building a career, there will always be a higher peak that you can aspire to, that would also, so increasing your skills, increasing the value you are putting on the table, and it just might soar. Yeah, but then I would say that for increasing, so this also ties in to increasing your income. The way I see it, and the way I've always seen it, I don't think I've ever been motivated by salaries, and I can say this very proudly. I've never particularly motivated by salaries for joining a job, and that's because I feel the question or the desire is not necessarily how much money can I get from this, it's how much value can I put on the table. So knowing that value or wealth or income or money would always follow value. If you build yourself with skills, you have skills, so you have things that you can trade in the market. You have items of value that you can put on the table. You would always get money. That's how it is. So in the world we live in now, there's a hack, and that hack is that because I can work virtually, and because I can learn as many things as I can learn, I have the ability to basically spread my tentacles and get as much money as I can. For example, let me just use myself briefly. Even though I studied accounting, I eventually moved into writing and then moved into data, and because I just felt like garnering all of these different skills. And what has happened is that I have created multiple sources to earn money from. So I would say for you to increase your income, the first step is to increase how much value you are able to put on the table. If you have only one small skill, and that one small skill is not particularly a big deal world we are moving to, then you might not be in the right direction. But if you can devote the time to learn a myriad of skills, or learn skills that are facing the direction of the future, then you will always have value to trade for additional income, whether you are running your own business or whether you are working for somebody. Thank you very much.
All right, Loretta.
I'd just like to add just one thing. Yeah, what Loretta said was very beautiful, but listeners need to understand that one of the edge of business owners or entrepreneurs have over working class people is that they often pass inflation from the product to the end user. So, for example, your salary is fixed, and relatively you don't get as much raise as possible, but an entrepreneur or a business owner can always pass inflationary or debt hazard to the customer. So the edge is that the world rewards creativity, and usually entrepreneurs get a lot of wealth valuation from paper wealth, meaning, for example, investors come to your company, investing and things like that. So opening that also gives you a key level to that. So I think a 9 to 5 job is very good, but I think the way we are growing, the Nigerian economy needs to understand that we need more side hustles. Just like Rota said, opening 3, 4, 5 skills will not make, as long as what you're doing does not affect your 9 to 5 job. Because don't forget that a lot of people are still looking for that 9 to 5 job. We have high unemployment and stuff like that. So I think it's just about balancing and working with what works well for you. Yeah.
All right. Finally, if you guys can just answer this in 1 minute before we wrap things up. This one is from Emeka. He says, "Good morning, money team." Says, "Please, apart from mutual funds, which other investment options is advisable for a young person or investor?" Says, "Also, please, what is the ratio of investment with age?"
Yeah. Okay. Let me start with that one in 1 minute. The very good question. Yes, usually investor financial advisors will tell you that the younger you are, the more willing you should be exposed to risk. So, for example, crypto, if you are somebody that is earning very well and you have a lot of savings, you can look at crypto assets, you can look at foreign stocks, and as you grow older, as you are getting to your mid 40s, that you start looking at investing more into your business, looking more at the debt market. Then if you're in your 50s, 60s, definitely you have kids and stuff like that. The real estate option will always be good for you and stuff like that. So I think, yes, across board, I think those are the safest things generally. But it all still depends on your net worth, your age, and your income. Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, thanks a lot for your time. Do appreciate you coming by today. And just in case you didn't know, Nairametrics is Nigeria's leading destination for business, financial, and economic news and information. Of course, that's why you heard Olumide and Loretta always talk about the platform nairametrics.com. So go there. You'll get breaking news, analysis, coverage of capital and money markets. You'll also get, a look on financial literacy and also advice on personal finance. Don't forget to subscribe to the Stock Select newsletter. It's ssn.nairametrics.com. Until we come your way next week, guys, enjoy your Easter and buy me some turkey, Olumide, because if you don't buy turkey, I won't allow you on Wednesday to come here.
No problem. Yeah, thanks, I do.
Yes.
Yeah.